His Holiness the 17th Yalwa Hamapa, Ugin Drodel Trinlegon. March 1st, 2005, at 6 a.m., His Holiness departed from his hotel for a day of visits to local monasteries in Mungot. At the first point of meeting, he was greeted by monks from the Drikung Kagyu monastery called Dechen Truku Ling, who welcomed him with a special ceremony. The abbot of the Kagyu monastery, Tusam Norling Gatsa, monks of the monastery itself, abbots of the nearby nunnery, government representatives, heads of local organizations, and others also welcomed His Holiness with verses and rituals of auspiciousness. At the second meeting point, His Holiness was greeted by monks from the eastern and northern sections of Ganden Monastery and from Enigma Monastery. The leaders, along with some community members of the 2nd and 9th refugee camps, also offered their greetings. At the third point of meeting, His Holiness was greeted by leaders from the local branches of the Tibetan Youth Congress and the Tibetan Women's Association, teachers, staff, and students from the Central Tibetan School, staff of the Refugees Union, nuns from Changchuk Churling, and leaders and community members of the 3rd and 5th refugee camps. At the fourth point of meeting, His Holiness was greeted by monks from the Gomang, Ratur, and Loseling divisions of Drepung Monastery, as well as by monks from Sakya Monastery. He was also greeted by leaders and community members of the 4th refugee camp. The fifth meeting point was the gateway of the Kagyu Monastery called Tusam Norling Gatsa. His Holiness was greeted by the teachers, staff, and students of the school of the 6th refugee camp. He was also greeted by leaders and community members from the 6th, 7th, and 8th refugee camps. Then, His Holiness traveled to the Kagyu Monastery, Bokar Shedrup Pelge Ling. He was greeted there by Lama Drubgyu Rinpoche, who led His Holiness to the shrine room of the monastery, where His Holiness was received with elaborate rituals. March 1st, 2005. His Holiness visited Bokar Kagyu Shedrup Pelgeling, Lama Drubgyu Rinpoche, head of the monastery, the monks, Indian and Tibetan lay people, all gave a warm welcome to His Holiness.
His Holiness gave a speech about his first meeting with the people at the settlement. A long life empowerment was given by His Holiness to all monks, nuns, and to the general public.
His တယ်ဆိုတော့မှာတော့ဒီဆိုတဲ့အတူတူတော့ဒီလိုမျိုးကိုထားရအောင်ဒီလည်းဒီတော့ပြည့်တယ်အဲ့လိုမျိုးအခြေအနေမှာဝတ်စုပြီးတော့ဒီလိုမျိုးသူ့ကိုဆိုတာဒီတော့ဒီကတော့သူ့ရဲ့သူ့ရဲ့ဆုံးဖြတ်ချက်ကြီးစာရင်းတွေဒီလိုလူချာတွေလည်းဒီနဲ့တော့ဆုံးဖြတ်ချက်တွေဆိုလည်းအဲ့ဒီလူတွေကိုကျဲကျဲစောင့်နေရလို့ဆိုအဲ့ဒီတော့ဒါမှမဟုတ်လားစောင့်နေရလို့စတဲ့ရှိတယ်အဲ့ဒီလိုကျိုးကြီးဒီနေ့ကအခုလိုအားလုံးဆောက်ရတယ်အဲ့ဒီနဲ့တော့တပည့်အရင်ကတော့ပါတယ်တော့ဆက်ရည်ဖြစ်တော့ဒီဝါးကြီးဒီတောင်းရည်ကြီးဟာဒီနဲ့တော့ရှင်းအောင်လေအဲ့ဒီလိုမျိုးဝင်ပြီးဒီလိုဖြစ်ချာရဒီလိုလေတော့လေရဲတော့ဆောင်းရည်တယ်ဆိုရှင်းရဲ့အကြောင်းတွေပြောအောင်လို့စောင့်ရည်တယ်ကြီးတွေကစောင့်ရည်တဲ့သူတွေလာရစောင့်ရည်တဲ့သူတွေဒီဆောင်းရဲ့that's all the
His Holiness visited the Central School for Tibetans at Montgoat. On his arrival, a welcoming ceremony included singing of the Indian and Tibetan national